actually out of the body when you're dreaming at night. So when you sleep for 7 or 8 hours, you're going to spend 3 hours. This is medical studies now. This is hard, no science now. We've known this since the 1950s when we discovered the 4 brainwaves. You spend 3 hours out of the body into the 5th dimension. The question is, where do you go? Most people, because they don't know what they're doing, or because they're arguing with their wife, or they're worrying about problems, or because they had too many drugs, they go to the lower astral plane. That's a very bad neighborhood.
Like how?
Well, except you can get out of it. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's like purgatory. Okay?
Purgatory, okay.
Whereas if you use the techniques I described in psychic protection techniques and more positive things, you can leave through the crown chakra, not through the 3rd chakra, which will take you to the lower astral. If you go to the crown chakra, which is where you want to go, now you go to the upper astral plane, or the causal, mental, etheric, or even soul plane. Those are all positive dimensions. Okay? The only 2 negative dimensions are the lower astral plane and this one. We have a lot of problems here. But the other dimensions are all positive. And each dimension has a sound and certain characteristics that are relevant to it. For example, if you're out of the body and you hear the roar of the sea, you're on the astral plane. If you hear the tinkling of bells like in a New Age bookstore, now you're on the causal plane where the Akashic records are stored. If you hear the sound of running water, you're on the mental plane. And if you hear the buzzing of bees, you're on the etheric plane. Or if you hear the sound of a flute, you're on the soul plane. You're actually out of the body when
excuse me. I'm a street photographer. I think you have a good look.
Really?
Yes.
Me?
Yes. You're acting surprised.
Whenever you have sex with a man, they sperm bind to your brain for the rest of your life.
How can we, black, white, whatever, improve this?
Well, honestly, I think I point to it in the very last paragraph that I read, and I'm encouraged because things aren't the way they used to be. We all have grandparents that told us how things were. We've all seen documentaries. We are definitely making progress, but I think on an individual, on a micro level, the issue is not really skin. The issue is sin. We need salvation from our sin. Internally, our sin.
In 2005, is it true that J.P. Morgan released information directly indicating that it directly benefited from slavery?
Are you lost? You lost? It's okay. Come with me. Come with me. What's your name? Okay. I'm gonna take care of you, alright? What the fuck? You know your last name? Come on, man. Gotta record to protect myself, man. Damn. This some bullshit. You alright, youngin'? There you go. Want Pop-Tart? Come on, man.
Don't wake me, I'm not dreaming. Past times could never. Don't wake me, I'm not dreaming. Past times could never. Don't wake me.
I am so tired of feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown.
What'd you say?
The old one. 87, 89, 91. Get the new gas.
Do you think that that's the year that the gas was from?
Yeah.
Gen Z is why I believe in the 900-week abortion.
Play, he hasn't figured out that you have to play defense to sometimes deep, but they're just
I don't sound like that.
I don't. I mean, let's just be clear. First of all, you're my brother. I love you. My younger brother.
Twin brother.
Twin brother.
Oh, his stepdad.
He's still young. He's still on my stepfather's side. Period. Let's be clear. Play, he hasn't figured out that you have to play defense to sometimes deep, but they're just
I don't sound like that. I don't.
Michael Aquino was a high-level officer in the National Security Agency.
He was and is, you'll see him today, a practicing Satanist. He created the Satanic Temple of Set, which he still runs. He was a high-level NSA officer. He's a member of the association I used to be in, the Association of Former Intelligence Officers, AFIO. He's a member of that. He's plugged in big time to the intelligence community, and he wrote a paper called Mind War, and Mind War was about psychological operations against populations, including the domestic population, using Satanist techniques and tools.
Aquino was first involved in MK Ultra operations during the Vietnam War as part of the Phoenix program.
Well, first, I've been involved in intelligence and psychological operations for about 40 years in all levels of it and across the intelligence community.
You are a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army.
Correct.
Now.
And it was uncovered that he was running a pedophile ring. I think 50 kids came out and fingered him as the guy that had done sexual acts on them as children. It went to trial. He walked from the trial successfully because he had a good attorney, despite the fact that there were multiple witnesses that said Aquino, through satanic rituals, had abused them as children. There's no question that he's a practicing Satanist. Just watch any one of his